SwimNinja.com here with the Overlee head coaching staff. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, my name's Andrew Koons. I'm Brenna, Broadus.
All right, and Andrew, why don't you start and tell us a little bit about your swimming and coaching background?
Yeah, so I grew up in NBSL. Started swimming at age 5, swam ages 5 through 18 at Hayfield Farm. Started coaching there when I was 15, so that's kind of when by that point, I obviously was looking for a way to give back, so that was a great way, and I realized that I absolutely love coaching. So I did that, coached 2 years after at Canterbury Woods, then coached in Williamsburg for a few years, and then now I'm back up here, second year at Overlee. So in addition to that, I've done some little bit of club coaching, and then I've coached a couple different high school teams. So one when I was student teaching, and then one now I'm helping the high school that I teach at. I'm helping them coach.
Which school is that?
Riverside High School.
Riverside High School. Okay. And Brenna?
So I started coaching with Overlee 2 years ago. This is my third summer. I grew up swimming in Charlottesville, swam on a summer league team there, much like Overlee, coached there out of high school, and then moved to DC a few years after graduating and did some legal work and some real estate work and got back into coaching 3 years ago with Machine Aquatics, which is a year-round swim team. And I now run their program at Tuckahoe. So been in full-time coaching for a couple years now. Really love Overlee. Really excited about the season.
Great. So in your second and third years at Overlee, tell us a little bit about why you enjoy coaching here, what brings you back every summer.
Yeah, so I think that it was an easy decision for me to come back. The swimmer, I would say the best thing is overall swimmer engagement. So whether that's in the pool, at practices, swimmers are very focused, always looking to get better. At meets, swimmers are very focused, looking to do their best, but not usually looking to do the best, for themselves. They're always kind of thinking about the team and doing whatever can help Overlee. And then I think just kind of encompassing all those things, the team spirit is just incredible. We have, it ends up being probably 60 swimmers in swimming in a Saturday meet, 60 to 70 swimmers, but then we have 100 to 150 or even sometimes more swimmers on deck. So that's really awesome, just to have that kind of complete team effort, whether you're in the water racing or whether you're supporting, cheering, helping out in any other way. It's just a really great team atmosphere to be a part of.
Sure. Brenna?
Yeah, it's really impressive. I think we've had discussions about this, how incredible the seniors are. They come to practice. They're over there right now teaching the younger kids new cheers and going over some of the old cheers with the new kids. So no one makes them do that. They want to do it. They want to help the team. They come and make signs. They are, doing this mini Olympics for our pep rally on Friday. It's incredible. And I think they're kind of the glue that holds the team together, and they start new traditions and they help carry the rest of the age groups through till they are seniors. So that's a really special part about Overlee for me. It's just watching the leadership on the team totally come from the kids. It's not from the coaching staff or the adults, which is pretty special.
So both of you spoke a lot about, I guess, a lot of the out of the pool parts of the job. Tell us a little bit about, on deck with practice so far and looking towards your first meet this weekend.
Yeah, so I love being on deck at Overlee. We have an incredible coaching staff that we kind of surround ourselves with, and they really just kind of take what we have, or a lot of times start with it and run with it. So it's really great to be on deck with them, and kind of throughout all the age groups, we're seeing slightly different things. Within each age group, they've got a little bit of a different focus. So, 8 and unders are working a lot on technique right now, whereas, the seniors and the 11, 12s, we're just working a lot on speed. A lot of the technique's already there, but I think one of the benefits of having such a numerous and such a strong coaching staff is that we can really kind of subdivide, not only by practice, but within each practice, and kind of give the group whatever they need.
It's awesome.
Which is great.
Yeah, I think we're doing a good job kind of dividing among swimmers who might swim year-round, who come here for conditioning and come here to race, and then also work with swimmers that don't swim year-round and helping them improve their swimming, getting faster at B meets, measuring their progression throughout the summer. And those kids drop a lot of time, and it's really rewarding to see how well they do. So I think we're doing a pretty good job of that so far. I think we're getting ready for McLean. So
That's great. One of the things that, as we've had conversations with other coaches in the league, is that Overlee's unique in that it's an 11-month job. There's between your winter swim program and even your school fish program. If you could talk a little bit about how the development process works, both for your athletes as they're younger, as well as young coaches who end up coaching on the team.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess a couple of different things. So it's been really cool this year to have been involved with the Sunday night swim program to just kind of see the swimmers more throughout the year. I mean, obviously, as Brenna was saying, many swim on year-round programs, but a lot of them, that's like kind of the only time they're in the water, or one in addition to maybe other club practices that they're going to. So I think it's cool, kind of like having coached a summer, then be like, all right, well, here's where we were at with the beginning of last summer. What do we need to kind of hit during the year, and what do we need to focus on so that way we can kind of start 1 or 2 steps ahead from where we were last summer. So that's been really positive. And yeah, that Sunday night swim program, we're there to kind of supervise, but it's really run by the senior swimmers. So I think it's really great for them. I know that when I started coaching, that you coach these swimmers and you start to think a lot about your own strokes and a lot about your delivery and instruction. So it's really cool to see them kind of, they're continuing that role into the summer, whether they're coaching on the School of Fish team or whether they're just being an awesome senior leader. But I mean, yeah, they're just more of an integral part of the team, which is really cool.
Yeah, I think the seniors get involved in coaching in School of Fish and in the winter swim program. And then right now we have 2 soon-to-be seniors in college and 1 soon-to-be junior.
Yeah.
Michaela's a junior.
Michaela's
junior.
Sophomore,
So anyway, they're in college. And so they've been here their entire swimming career. They swam for Overlee. And they've been through the program and coached School of Fish and coached Sunday Night Swim, and now they're a huge part of the coaching staff. We have another returning coach who was out last year who also grew up at Overlee. So, having them come through the program and know the program so well and then come back as coaches to help us out is fantastic.
Okay, so I guess building off of that, looking at Overlee's program, you've talked about it a little bit. Tell us a little bit about some of the traditions and spirit that you've been able to be a part of, witness as a coach over the past few years that really stand out and make the Overlee experience unique.
I say one that comes to mind is the Friday night pep rallies. And so that's something that I'm familiar with. We always did Friday night pep rallies. But again, kind of going back to the seniors, what's really cool is that the seniors run the show on the Friday night pep rallies. So I mean, we're obviously always there to support, but it's good to have us there to kind of help oversee and engage and everything. But they come to us and kind of say, here's our plan. Is that okay? And we're like, of course, that's awesome. That's great. And it's really going to help the team. So when I was a coach in the past, I was kind of coached around, which was great. But, the coaches run a lot with the team. So I think the kids really benefit from those older swimmers helping out. So that, and then I guess one other that kind of came to mind is the senior progressive dinner, which is just really great. I love the senior progressive dinner. Obviously, it's a fun event. You get to go around and have lots of different food, but it's cool because it's almost like the senior celebration at the end of the year. So they have literally poured their heart and soul into the team for, 8 or 9 weeks, really the last, 4 or 5 weeks once the competitive season starts. And they just get to celebrate and have a great time, which is really good. Because I think a lot of times, they take such a burden on themselves and they forget, to appreciate and enjoy and have fun themselves. So that was really cool last year as well.
I think a lot of it that I've observed is the little things. I think they're leading the pep rallies. They make paper plates for the Saturday swimmers and either deliver them or they put them on the wall in the team room. And I know some of the younger kids, getting that paper plate just makes their summer. It's one of the best experiences they have. Making the signs, obviously, making new signs every year. Just little stuff that I think, again, no one asks them to do. No one asks them to lead cheers and, kind of get the team together for the cake bake and other socials, but they do it. And so I grew up on a big team, and that was really great. And we did a lot of things outside of swimming and, spirit. But this team is very unique. I think they go above and beyond in doing things for the team.
How much would you say, and Andrew, you might be able to speak to this about having seen teams at different levels within the same league, but Brenna as well with your own summer swimming experience, how much would you say the spirit and all the stuff that goes on away from the pool contributes to how your team performs on Saturdays?
I think it really does. I mean, we've had our, kind of our first couple of meets, orange and white, and we had a B meet this past Monday. And we had some really good swims, but it's just kind of, looking back to these early meets last year compared to the end of the season when the big meets are the relay carnivals, kind of our meets that we're targeting, that you can see it's not night and day, but you just see a big improvement. And that a lot of that is the work that you've done on deck coaching, but that a lot of that is just that team atmosphere, and that when you get in the water, the whole team is behind you, which is incredible. Not that on teams that I grew up on, there weren't people cheering or anything like
Sure.
that, but it's just there's definitely a sense of unity to get behind the swimmers and push them to faster swims. And you see these swims and you're like, how did that happen? And then you turn around and you see 100 people like decked out in orange or whatever else, and they're just going crazy, and you just know there's a connection there, which is really cool.
Sure.
Yeah, I think from what I've kind of seen, it seems like often Overlee is not seated as well as they perform. So I think for us to go in and maybe we've scored it out and we've seen it and it might be kind of close, but I think knowing that spirit is there for a lot of the kids pushes them more than maybe we would do on paper. So I think that's been interesting to me, to be in meets where we're not supposed to do as well, and then we come out and we have a much better meet and relays move up, and I think a lot of that is because of the kids that cheer. I think the swimmers hear them and they see that group, and it's really inspiring.
That's great. Tell us a little bit, I guess, about this year's team. I don't know if you've seen it yet. You have 12 swimmers from Overlee who made our preseason also ninja team. So help us understand where some of your strengths are between age groups and even individuals that have stood out to you so far in the preseason.
Yeah, so I mean, I definitely don't want to share too much.
Gotta keep it.
I got to keep a little bit close to the vest. But yeah, I mean, the seniors are always a really strong group, and we kind of talked about how that connects to their spirit. Our 8 and unders are definitely more numerous and kind of in stronger numbers this year, so we're excited about that and just kind of watch them. There are a lot of them, and there are a lot of them very close in time, so I think they'll hopefully just kind of keep pushing each other throughout the season. We've got some age groups that definitely are a little lighter in numbers, or kind of need to continue to push each other at practice to push each other to better times. But we know that it's a build kind of to the end of the season, so it's just like kind of always being on them and thinking about day to day, how can we make little improvements for this group so that way they can perform better on Saturday. So I mean, those groups, although right now we see them as needing some more work, we know that their improvement is just going to be sky high by the end of the season.
And I think in the lighter age groups, we're going to have some kids that haven't typically swam in Saturday meets or haven't done it as much, and that's going to be really exciting for them. Mm-hmm. And I think that's going to kind of lock them into the team spirit and kind of help motivate them. And then we have age groups from last year that we've aged some kids up that are really strong and super competitive age groups. So it'll be interesting to see kind of how those play out with a lot of kids moving up into the stronger, older age groups.
All right, well, my final question is, what are your ultimate hopes for the team, competitively, non-competitively, just for the season ahead?
So I guess starting with not competitive, last year we did a really great job of making it more of a team effort and, kind of paying attention to all swimmers in the water, at meets, at practices and whatnot. And we got some really positive feedback about that. So kind of continuing to try and do that, remembering that, this awesome Overlee Spirit team of, 200, 250 doesn't come from just the 50 swimmers, 60 swimmers that are competing in meets. It comes from everybody. So kind of continuing to get everybody to buy in is definitely a goal. Kind of getting the older swimmers to reach down to the younger ones. That happens at pep rallies, that happens with cheering, but just kind of, building for the future, always kind of helping that team spirit. So last year, we won both of the relay carnivals and then lost that last meet to Chesterbrook. So, that's kind of always the goal here at Overlee, is to kind of get that triple crown and win all 3 meets. We know that it's going to take a lot of work to get there, and we've got our work cut out for us, but that's always kind of what we're working towards the end of the season.
Great.
Same. That's it. Said it well. That's good.
All right, well, I don't want to take you away from practice too much longer, so thank you for sitting down with us. Best of luck this season and this weekend, of course.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for putting this together.